How legends are made. This is how.
Salute. Man, listen, y'all go get yourselves some drinks, some refreshments, some snacks. First of all, happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. We got a really good one for y'all today, man. We got one of the legendary pioneers in this hip hop, this thing we call hip hop. Uh, I'm gonna definitely bring him on the platform. But prior to, y'all know, before I start on any show, I always like to pay homage. I like to pay homage to those individuals who not only lost their lives, but if you have a family member that's ill, if anybody is themselves ill at the moment, this is where your legacy stands. Your legacy is equally as important as ours. So with each episode we do, we commemorate y'all. We take a moment of silence just for all our fallen soldiers and everybody else. So let's do that, and then we'll get on with the show. Salute, man. Man, definitely. We lost, some really good ones. But they're here. With each episode, every time we turn this camera on, they still here with us, looking down on us. So let's give them a show. This individual that I have coming up, man, his accolades, I mean, I can go on and on. From his early mixtape days, on WBAU 90.3 FM in the 80s, the global airways of the Sirius XM Rock the Bell radio. Geechie Dan has carried hip hop history in his hands, literally as the world record holder of cassette tapes, founder of Planet of Tapes, and recognized hip hop activist. His mission is preserving the soundtracks that built a generation, with roots in Hollis, Queens, the birthplace of legends, and credentials that span the National Hip Hop Museum, Hip Hop Hall of Fame, and Sirius XM. Geechie Dan isn't just documenting culture; he is culture. Without further ado, salute. What's good, my guy?
What's good, my brother?
Man, oh man,
that was a
oh
great
man.
introduction, and rest in power, rest in beauty to all those that we've lost, and like you said, may they rest in peace and power and beauty, and continue looking down on us. That was perfect.
Man, listen, we definitely appreciate you, man. Like anytime that I could get any legendary individual up on the platform, up in front of the people, y'all do me a favor, man. Slap the like button, tap the like button, tell a friend to tell a friend. One of y'all favorite YouTubers is back at it again, man. I ain't been live in a minute either. I've been, kind of building and growing and doing things. But it's time. Like I said, I promised the people a 90-day run. So here it is. We closing out the fourth quarter of the year, and we just gonna go ridiculously hard, man. We got Geechie Dan. We just had our Prancelow the dancer bless the platform, so now we got Geechie Dan to follow up. For those that don't know who you are, if you could just enlighten them who exactly you are and so on and so forth.
Um, I'm someone that's passionate. I'm someone that's ambitious. I'm someone that's I don't give up on something that I love. Um, I'm a brother from Queens, from Hollis, Queens, Farmers Boulevard, St. Albans, and I literally watched hip hop grow to this billion-dollar business, to this worldwide culture of peace, unity, love, and having fun. And I've been collecting the tapes since day one. And I'm just someone that feels like these tapes mean everything to myself, to the pioneers, to the culture, to the individuals that watched hip hop like myself come to where it is today. And I just feel like I'm a gatekeeper. I'm an archivist. I'm someone that has hip hop's best interests, and so I just took my passion of all this and turned it to my purpose, and I found my purpose in life, and that's what it is, man. And ultimately, it will lead me to my destiny. But it took looking in the mirror, finding myself. Who am I? What am I? As a human being, as someone on this planet Earth that we live in, that my life, what we live in, and not take for granted um my existence. And this passion of mine with hip hop, it started with these tapes, these cassette tapes. And
Well, we have some questions lined up for you. Definitely, we're gonna we also have a presentation for you.
okay.
Anybody that comes up on the magazine, we always present them as a token of respect and gratitude. So we had that. We're going to share that with you for the first time,
Mhm.
and they'll get to see it as well. We'll also open up the platform. If y'all have any questions, put it in the comment section. I'll make sure your question get shown, and then we can ask the questions and so on and so forth. But we got some questions for you.
Okay.
One, what first drew you to collecting cassette tapes, and do you remember the very first one you owned?
um I was listening to Mr. Magic on WHBI. This is like 80, 81. And this is the only opportunity that we was able to hear hip hop on radio at the time, late at night, wee hours in the morning, or the weekend. And so um I was glued to this new sound, this the culture. Every now it's on radio. This was the first time that you know hip hop is on radio. And I'm like, wow, this is dope. And I'm recording the show as I'm listening. And as more shows started becoming, coming on radio late night, like the world famous Supreme Team show, um, Zulu Beats with Africa Islam and Donald D, Jerry Bloodrock, rest in peace to him. Um, so I was intrigued with, they would have 2 hour shows, and um, sometimes they would play a snippet of a tape of a live performance of a block party, a park jam, something at the T Connection, Harlem World. And one of the first actual parties or tape they played was I believe it was Zulu Beats was playing. They played the Busy Bee Kumo D battle, was which they played the battle, but it was more than, it wasn't just a battle. It was a rap contest at
Hmm.
Harlem World, 1981 Christmas. And it they only played a snip. They only played the Busy Bee and the Kumo D part, but I know there was some other performers prior to Busy Bee and after Kumo D. They came on, but they never played that on the radio. So I was intrigued. Now I want the whole tape. I want the whole part. You know what I'm saying? They only played like 10 minutes of it. I want the whole hour. I want the whole 60 minutes of it. And so that's what led me into wanting to get the tape of the entire performance, of the entire contest, the entire show. And so that was one of my first tapes of first time experiencing hearing hip hop. That was the Cold Crush, that tape, and the Cold Crush Treacherous 3. It was the Treacherous 3 second anniversary at Harlem World, 1982. And they played a snippet of that as well on the radio. And I was just amazed about, hearing Grandmaster Cass and the Cold Crush and the Treacherous 3. And, I was like, wow, this shit is dope. I gotta have the entire tape. So these snippets of performances they playing is on the show. So now, not only do I want the entire show of the radio show, the Zulu Beat show, or the world famous Supreme Team show, I also want that live performance they played on the show, which was only 10 minutes, 8 minutes. I want the whole entire 60 minutes or 2 hours of that jam. And I started meeting other people outside of Queens. I started meeting people up in the Bronx and up in Harlem. And I started getting out my neighborhood, traveling. We're talking about 82, 81, 82, 83. I started getting out my neighborhood, and ultimately I joined Zulu Nation in 1983. I was still in high school. And
I need you to hold that right there, because
okay.
a lot of people, we kind of take for granted that kind of growing up, when you grow up in the era and you grow up around some of the greats, a lot of people might not know who Zulu Nation is.
Right.
Let's just say, or might not know, like, they only know the polished product. They didn't know the blood, sweat, and tears that they did to get to this, that. Like, for example, like, and I hate to say his name, but Puff, I knew him when he was just a regular old dancer. He was, I was,
right.
He was dancing, and we was
right.
getting money another way. So, being a part of the Zulu Nation, like, what intricate part did you play as far as that is concerned?
Well, now me listening to the shows and me collecting the audio, the tapes. Now I'm playing these tapes on my boombox radio, cassette player, whatever you want to call it. Back in the days, later on I had the boombox radio, I had the Burger Alarm radio, but prior to that I had a small radio. It wasn't the most powerful radio at the time, but it served its purpose by being able to play my tapes on my step while I'm doing yard work. Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, I'm watering the grass, I'm cutting the grass, I'm doing the leaves, and so people would come by and listen to my tapes, and everybody started coming around, and word got around that I had tapes. I was either listening to the tapes and I was taping them off the radio, or I was getting them from people that I knew from uptown, from the Bronx or from Harlem. And so that put me in a place where, in a space where people were like, yo, this is a hip hop dude. I didn't start rapping until later on. I started emulating what I heard on the tapes, and I got my name Geechie Dan from the movie Uptown Saturday Night with Sidney Poitier, and Harry Belafonte played Geechie Dan, the character. So that's where I got my name, Geechie Dan. So I said, this would fit perfect into what I'm going into with hip hop. And the only other person in the community, in the hood at that time, that was someone that was interested in hip hop and loved hip hop like myself, was LL Cool J.
Okay.
There was no others really, like he was lyrical. He was a rap. I like I said, I came later, but when it came to hip hop, culture, when it came to the flyers and the names and the tapes and the the places to be, these where the T Connection. I actually knew where the T Connection was and Harlem World. I started being engulfed in the culture, so I knew hip hop. I was living hip hop. It wasn't just like no fluke with me with that. And so LL was somebody in the community other than myself. And so when we came across each other's path, it was mutual because he understood. I knew about these Cold Crush 4 tapes and Dr. Rock and the Force MCs and the Routines and Crash Crew and Zulu Nation, the Funky 4+1, Wiz Kid, all these hip hop heroes and pioneers on these tapes.
Now,
And
is that how you got to the Rock the Bell show? Because of
yeah, we're gonna get to that later.
okay.
But I want everybody to understand how me listening to the tapes and taping off the radio and everything, it led me into learning more, wanting to know more about hip hop and being a part of the culture. And that's when I decided to get down with Zulu Nation in 1983, because I really wanted to know more and start living this lifestyle. And I was intrigued. The meeting, I wanted to put the tapes, I wanted to put the faces together with the individuals on the voices on the tapes. I was like, oh, you Bambada, okay, you Red Alert, okay, you Jazzy J. I wanted to meet my heroes, the ones that I'm hearing on these tapes. I want to meet them, and that's what led me to join the Zulu Nation, because to Zulu Nation, the mission statement is about it's Zulu Nation means it's peace, love, unity, and having fun and knowledge. And that was just right up my alley.
Okay. Let me see this question. So, growing up in Hollis, Queens, one of the hip hop's birth zones, how did your surroundings shape your love for the culture?
Now, let me let everybody know. Okay, Farmers Boulevard and 112 Road. That's where I lived. That's the block I lived on, 112 Road, right? So right up the street on Farmers Boulevard, it's 2 blocks or a block and a half. It's Farmers Boulevard. On one side of Farmers Boulevard, I lived on one side of Farmers Boulevard. LL Cool J lived on the other side of Farmers Boulevard. The individuals on that side is LL Cool J. You got Fubu, like 6 blocks away from me. You got LL Cool J. He's about 5 blocks away from me. Then you got on my side of Farmers Boulevard, you got Jeffrey Sanders from the R&B group Intro. He's 7, 8 blocks away from me in one direction. And then right around the corner from me is O'Connell Park. You got Mark Jackson from the New York Knicks, live right across the street from the park. Then we go 9 blocks going the other direction towards Linden Boulevard, you got Tribe Called Quest. Then if you go 4 to 5 blocks in another direction, you got DMC from Run DMC on Hollis Avenue and 197th Street in another direction from my house. Then you go 6 blocks in another direction, you got Jam Master Jay on 202nd and 112th Avenue in another, like 6 blocks away from me. Then you got Ed Lover. Ed Lover's like 9 blocks away from me on Francis Lewis, 207, 208, Black Rock and Ron, right over there as well. You got Hype Williams on Linden, 9 blocks away from me in another direction. Then you got Ja Rule. Ja Rule's on Woodhall. He's about 11 blocks away from me. You got Benny and Joe. They right on Farmers in 104th. They 7, 8 blocks away from me in another direction. So, any given day, I come outside, you see LL Cool J, you see Benny and Joe, you see Jam Master J, on Hollis Avenue. I was a member of the Jehovah's Witness. And I used to attend the Kingdom Hall back in the 70s and 80s. And the Kingdom Hall was right on Hollis Avenue and 201st Street. Jam Master Jay lived on 203rd, I believe. He lived 2 blocks away from the Kingdom Hall. So seeing Run DMC, seeing Jam Master Jay, the Showboys, Butter Love, Freedom Williams from CNC Music Factory, Spider D, all these individuals lived right on Hollis Avenue, and they would see me going to the Kingdom Hall. Jam Master Jay would see me rhyming in front of the Kingdom Hall about Jehovah. I'm rhyming about, and he would slow down and he would look at me and say, you're going to hell, right? And I'm like, we just laugh because he's like, yo, you bugging. Why you rhyming in front of the Kingdom Hall? You you're going to hell with that, right? He just laugh and he'd drive off. And so it wasn't unusual to see these guys that we all emulated on tapes. Shy-Rock from the Funky Four, Crash Crew, Cold Crush, all these individuals from Queens, we emulated these cats from the Bronx on these tapes. So to see these guys that I grew up with, they my age as well, doing taking hip hop to the next level and coming from my neighborhood was really big. And it just made me want to go harder. Like, wow, this one LL, he doing his thing over here. Tribe Called Quest, they doing their thing over here on Linden. Run DMC, they doing their thing on Hollis. Ja Rule's doing Irv Gotti, so coming from that area, that neighborhood, it's golden, it's impactful. The impact that my community had, my hood had in hip hop is big, it's priceless. And right now, Salt and Pepper is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. LL Cool J is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Run DMC is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Tribe Called Quest is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So that tells you that impact of my community, my hood, shaped me to really go harder on my passion with collecting the tapes, because I felt like nobody wasn't taking the tape game to the next level. We talk about tapes and we talk about the glory, those moments, those golden moments, those historic, we like, yo, you remember that tape of this one and this one? Yo, you remember that tape? Yo, you got that tape? Yeah, I got that tape. I converted all my tapes to CD and ultimately, where we at today, MP3. I did this 10 years ago. So when LL came at me about having a show on his platform, it was like, I'm ready. He's like, how many tapes do you got? I said, at that time, I had maybe about 600. At that time, this was like 3 years ago now. And now I got over 1,200 tapes. So now we're talking about go-go tapes that was floating around, Northern Virginia, DC, and Maryland, So I got a large collection of go-go tapes. I got reggae tapes as well, live reggae parties in Jamaica, Kingston, and then, in the UK and in New York. And then we're talking about tapes from not only from the Bronx, but my collection extends out to Queens. I got park jams from Queens. I got jams, block parties from Queens, Brooklyn, Long Island. I got tapes from Long Island as well, parties from Long Island. I got old BAU radio shows as well. So, we talking about the Encore in Queens, IS8, Lincoln Park, Baisley Park, 40 Projects Park. We're talking about Rochdale Community Center. We're talking about Mysteries, the Q Club. So Jamaica Park. And other little spots, holes in the wall spots in Southside Jamaica, Queens, and Northside Jamaica, Queens, as Northside Queens, St. Albans. I got some jams from Far Rockaway, some park jams from Far Rockaway. Early Rozelle, Mikey D, early LL. I got some tapes of early Big Daddy Kane before he got signed, early Biz Markie, Stetsasonic from Brooklyn. I got early, parties from them, Skating Ring jams and Super Lover C. So when we talking about tapes, we're talking about new sounds, 1976, 1975, 1977. We're talking about Kid and Play early respected crews. When Play was with the Playboy crew, Kid with his crew. The Turnout was the Turnout Brothers. So we're talking about people before they even blew up, before they had record deals.
All right, quick. So when did you realize that your personal collection wasn't just a hobby, but it was a historic archive?
The first confirmation that I had something special was in 1985. I had my boombox radio, Burger Alarm radio, and I remember I had about 10, 11 dudes with me because I was real skinny. And I was like, I'm not having nobody take my radio from me. So I always had, guys with me that helped me carry the radio sometimes as well. It took 10 batteries and I had pockets of tapes. I had 3 tapes in one pocket, 3 tapes in another pocket, 3 tapes in my back pocket, 3 tapes in my other back pocket. And if I had a jacket, I had tapes in my jacket. So we're talking about, I'm walking around taking my boombox radio with individuals with me, and I got 10 to 15 tapes. And I'm only playing tapes. I'm not playing nothing. I'm not playing the radio. I'm playing tapes. And I took my radio and my tapes to Queensbridge projects. I took it uptown to Harlem. I took it to work at the World Trade Center. I took it to Long Island, the Hempstead Terminal, and Jamaica Terminal, the N6. I took my radio everywhere, and I played my tapes, and I saw the impact. I saw how people looked at me. They like, "Yo, what tape is that?" Because very few people had tapes like the shit that I was playing. Everybody had the Kumo D Busy Bee battle. Everybody had that. Everybody had some Cold Crush tape. Everybody had a Cold Crush 4 tape. Treacherous 3 tape. A lot of people didn't have Jazzy 5 tapes. A lot of people didn't have Zulu Nation tapes. A lot of people didn't have they might have had a Funky 4 tape, but they didn't have a tape of everybody, like a convention tape or a rap contest or a tape where everybody was in the place to be performing. Maybe 3 or more groups. Mercedes Ladies. A lot of people didn't have tapes of Mercedes Ladies. Eddie Chiba. A lot of people didn't have a lot of tapes of Eddie Chiba. They may have more tapes of Hollywood. A lot of people didn't have early tapes of Chuck D, Flavor Flav when they was on BAU. So I used to play these tapes before, like I said, before they even had record deals, and people would stop me and ask me, "Yo, where'd you get that tape from? Where'd you get this tape from?" And I would meet new people that might have had tapes that I didn't have. And I saw that impact, that a lane where nobody wasn't really moving like that in that lane. And then we fast forward to 2015, when I was living in Atlanta, Georgia. I used to play. Now these tapes I was playing in the car. If my car was able to play a cassette tape, I would play it. If I had the CD, I would play the CD of the tape in my car. I would be having my windows down, summertime. I'll be stuck in traffic on I-85 or 285, and I would play my tape, my CD, and it'd be a tape of Grandmaster Vic. It would be a tape of Mikey D. It'd be LL. It would be, Cold Crush, and it would be clear and would be loud and crisp because it's on CD. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, people would stop me, pull me over on the highway. Yo, where'd you get that CD from? Can I have a copy? And I would play it at work, and people were like, is that you? They were, because I had a tape of me at one time. I had a tape with me and Biz on the radio on BAU. So when I played the tape, they were like, yo, that's LL's new song. I said, no, that's me. Or that's Mikey D, because they sounded similar early on too as well. So when I was playing, I saw the reaction that I got. I saw how this could be something that could have an impact, because these tapes are, like you said, this is our soundtrack at the time, before internet. This was the essence of hip hop. This is the way we communicated. So it just grew. I got really, really hungry about getting more tapes. So I will call, some of my peoples in Queens, I would call the Amazing DeWitt. Big shout out to the Amazing DeWitt. He had all the tapes from Baisley Park. Tape Master B would have tapes. Cut Master JT would have tapes, CDs. So I said, yo, I told him my vision, that I wanted to collect all the tapes and every tape that I could get my hands on, and be the first to play these tapes on radio, and dedicate a show to the tapes. And at that time, it was called the Geechie Dan Hip Hop Tape Show. And when LL Cool J called me back in 2022, you said, yo, how many tapes you got and all that? And I was like, yo, I got this, I got that. He said, I bet. And then I spoke to Chuck D from Public Enemy, and he said, yo, you need something to add to your logo. I had a logo, but he said, yo, I could enhance it. And I said, all right, bet. And he said, yo, he made a suggestion. He said, yo, why don't you just call your show Planet of the Tapes? Instead of Planet of the Apes, it'd be Planet of the Tapes. I said, yo, that shit is dope. Yo, Chuck, we good with that? He said, yo. So I bought the logo, a new enhanced logo from him, and he gave me the name. He said, go run with it. So when I talked to LL, I said, yo, the name of the show is called Planet of the Tapes. And he was like, yo, he was ecstatic. He was like, yo, that's dope. And he hooked me up with the program director, Jay Hudson from Sirius XM. And I reached out. I needed someone else. I needed a DJ. So Biz Markie, rest in peace to Biz, we would have conversations every day. And he would quiz me on tapes, and he would ask me what tape I got, and this tape and that tape, and he tell me what kind of tapes he had. And he said he would help me. He said, yo, Geechie, I see your passion. I feel you. I love your passion, man, about these tapes. And he told me, and he said he would help me, and suggested on ways how to play the tapes on Sirius XM. And he said, yo, you need to get with Diamond, the artist. His name was DJ Diamond back in the days, but he changed his name to Diamond, the artist, and he used to DJ for Prince and Beyonce, and he was EPMD's first DJ. And so, my cousin Uncle Boogie said, yo, you need to hook up with Diamond. And Biz was like, yo, you need to hook up with Diamond too. Word up, yo. So they both was telling, Diamond about me, and vice versa. And then so when we got on the phone, when me and Diamond got on the phone, we talked about, the concept of the show and everything, and how we should go about doing it. And we develop a great chemistry, man, for real. Like the chemistry we have and the love that we have and the passion that for what he does with DJing and on turntables and what I do with the tapes, and I always see how we can go further with taking this tape game to another level. And it, like I said, we started the show 3 years ago, and we've been on the platform ever since. And we have done Jazzy 5 tribute, where we played tapes of the Jazzy 5. We done a Zulu Nation tribute, where we played Zulu Nation tapes. We played a Cold Crush. We did a Cold Crush 4 tribute. We did a Crash Crew tribute. We did a Sugar Hill Gang tribute. We have done a Fearless 4 tribute. We have done Mr. Magic tribute. So we have done Dr. Rock and the Foursome Seas tribute. We have done tributes for all the hip hop pioneers. We done the Ladies in Hip Hop tribute. We just recently done Hip Hop in Space tribute, where we play songs and tapes referencing space and the galaxy, and so my mind is crazy with these, with the ideas, and ultimately I created a hall of tape. So my shirt, you go to www.tapehall.org, and there's a hall of fame for tapes that I created over the summer.
Okay.
So that's the first hall of fame for the tapes, for cassette tapes, whether they the real tapes, whether it's cassette tapes or 8-track. I wanted to, create a hall of fame for these for the tapes. So that's what it is, the hall of tapes. www.tapehall.org. And I also created the International Hall of Fame over the summer as well. So we can start honoring individuals in music, whether it be hip hop, K-pop, Afro beats, go-go, reggae, reggaeton, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to do something even bigger. I wanted to extend it out, because collecting the tapes, I fell in love with honoring the individuals on the tape, preserving history, because I felt like these pioneers wasn't getting their accolades. I felt like they wasn't getting no love. And so I took it upon myself to create these institutions based upon the honoring. We don't honor our hip hop pioneers and legends and icons the way we should. And I felt like that was something that was void. And I wanted to be someone that took it to the next level. And it wasn't about no money. It wasn't about making no money. It was always about honoring. It was always about preserving. And it was always about revering our heroes on these tapes.
Yeah. So now, me, I'm a collector. I collect action figures, so I know. But my question to you is, how did you go about organizing such a massive tape collection? What's the rarest gem in the vault?
I got like I said, I just started going harder, because what happened was people started telling me there is no more tapes out there. Like, there's no tapes out there like that. I said, well, okay, we'll see about that. And every time I turned around, I'm getting a new tape. And I'm like, yo, there is tapes out here. There are tapes out here. And people gave up on them. And I wasn't the one to give up. If I had the tape at one time, or I heard it was on tape, I'm determined to get that tape by any means necessary. So now some of the tapes that I got that's really, really exclusive, like no one has. I have a tape of New Sounds at a club in Brooklyn in 1975. That's probably one of the earliest anything that was going on that was disco hip hop at the time, because it wasn't called hip hop back in 1975. So that's probably one of the earliest audio that I have. 1976. It's one of my favorite tapes. It's New Sounds. You got Rapper P. You got individuals from that's down with Grandmaster Flowers. That's down with New Sounds. You got JT Hollywood, one of the first Puerto Rican disco rappers. And this was at the Superstar Cafe in November of 1976, and it's clear. And I got the tape maybe about 4 years ago, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I struck gold. And then the brother, shared to me, said, "Yo, the individuals on the tape, it might be one or two that's still living. Everybody else on that tape is no longer here." And I vowed to him, I promised him, like I made a vow to him, like I would not sell these tapes or audio that he's given me. And I haven't given them to nobody else. I kept them for myself and for my collection. I have another tape from 1979. Biz Markie was 14 years old, and he was at a house party in Brentwood, Long Island. First time on the mic, and he was nervous because he wanted to sound like his heroes, the L Brothers from the Bronx. And he was so nervous, he didn't even rhyme. I got that tape, and that tape was given to me by someone that was part of his crew. And I also had to, promise him that I was not going to give this tape to nobody. It just was something that was part of my collection. There's a tape with Eddie Chiba and New Sounds at the club called Constellation in 1979 that maybe one other person might have. That's exclusive. That's in my collection. I have a tape of Chuck D, Flavor Flav. I got a battle with Flavor Flav. Not many people have. It was at the Long Island Convention Center, 1984, 1985, I believe. Might be late 1984. And Chuck D's hosting it. He was Chucky D at the time. So this is pre-Public Enemy. Not a lot of people don't have this tape. So that's one of my other tapes that I have. There's a tape of Sha-Rock and the Funky Four that not many have. I have as well. I also have a tape that not many have. Maybe a handful of people might have this one. It's the original Funky Four, 1978, with Raheem, when he was part of the group before he left the Funky Four and went with Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Four. He was part of the Funky Four. So I have two tapes of the original Funky Four from 1978. I have a rare tape of DJ WizKid, may he rest in peace. So I got a tape of Steady B in a battle with Fresh Prince on Philadelphia radio. Not many have. And so when I could go on and on and on.
I see. You definitely got it.
I got some joints.
But question to you, right? In this era that we in now, this digital era, which what challenges do you face preserving those recordings or preserving that sound? Because
none. When I digitized everything in 2015, game over. Once I was able to digitize everything and turn all these tapes to CD and MP3, it was just a matter of just label, taking my time to label, made sure that the the place to be was correct in the correct year, and that was it. That was my biggest obstacle, at the time, was converting all this audio over to and making it digital to MP3. Once it was on MP3, bro, it was a wrap.
Now I'm gonna hold you off just for a few seconds. So everybody knows when we get somebody come on a platform, we normally have something for them. We we show them gratitude the same way how you wanted to preserve those iconic figures. We look at you as someone that's iconic and legendary in this world of hip hop. So we got a tribute for you, something that we dug into our archives and kind of pulled out. So we're gonna present it to you in front of everybody. Start taking questions from the audience, and get on with the rest of the show. Hold on, let me pull this out real quick. Oh,
I hope it's a Low Lives party.
Listen, we got you. This is exclusive. Just hold tight.
Okay, all right. Of course, I got.
So now, as far as that particular track, shout out to Black You Now. That's one of the individuals that do a lot of our beats for our intros, our outros. If y'all need beats for intros and outros, Black You Now should be in the comment section. Reach out to them, let them know we sent y'all, so on and so forth. Of course, we're in an AI generated world right now, so all of those action figures and things of that nature, they actually made you a video game where you can go up there and create tapes and so on and so forth. It's great. I'll send it over to you so that you can have
That's dope.
For your collection. But yeah, as far as the Low Lives is concerned, you done came to our events, you done blessed. By far, we honor you because a lot of people shunned us away from hip hop, even though on the fashion aspect, there was no crew that did it like the Low Lives ever.
No, none.
Ever. But
none.
Again, they only mention us in history sometimes based on the super negativity, not the positive things and positive influences that we brought or continue to bring. So we appreciate you and appreciate the fact that you took the time out your schedule to come, and you came on a day where we were honoring our fallen soldiers. So that made it even more historic. So we definitely appreciate you for that.
Respect to the Low Lives, respect to your crew, respect to Thurston, you, Chip, and all the other brothers that I've met. Oh man, I had a great time. I love the energy, and you're showing me a lot of love, and I respect that, and I love that for y'all, man. Thank you.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you, and up and coming, some other events I'll definitely shoot you by.
Okay.
If by any chance we get it, now a lot of people might not know. I listen to your show all the time. He can currently be found on XM Radio. You can go to the Rock the Bell show. He got his own show, playing of the tapes. Tune in. It's a dope show, y'all. If you love hip hop and you love that era, tune in, vibe out, commercial free radio. I love it. So, where's some other places they can find you though? Because I know there's a lot of people. Those questions is coming. Where can they find you? Where can they find your tapes? Where can they get a hold of you if they want to, have you come on their platforms, so on and so forth? How could they build with Geechie Dan?
You could find me on Instagram and Threads as Geechie Dan Official, one word. I'm on Facebook as Daniel Chamberlain. You can go to my new situation called the Hall of Tapes. www.tapehall.org. So I got tapes playing on there right now on that website. I got 6 or 7 jams playing right now. So if you want to listen to some Harlem World shit, some T Connection, Cold Crush, Funky 4, Funk Machine, Cosmic Force, Zulu, I go ahead and go to that website and you can hear some of the tapes. I'll be putting up more audio tapes and snippets throughout the rest of the year. I will be once a week I'm gonna throw up another 2-3 more jams on the website, and I'm gonna start giving out awards next year and start inducting people into the Hall of Tapes. And I'm gonna be making hoodies, custom hoodies with flyers, the old school flyers. I'm gonna have them wrapped around on shirts, hoodies, sneakers, jeans, shirts, jackets, hats. You know what I'm saying? Right now I'm wearing a cassette tape watch. So yeah, so when I say I want to take the tape game to the next level, I definitely want to take it for real. I'm going in hard, preserving this man. It's
so
I've been blessed. It's a blessing to be able to be in a position to take this tape game, a lane that no one really started. Take it, I created a lane, and I'm going to run with it. Just going to go and see where it takes me. I'm working on a documentary called "The Rise of the Tape God: The Essence of Hip Hop," the tapes, and that's going to be out next year. I'm working on having my tapes played in space. So I'm doing collaborations with Planet Society, NASA, SpaceX. I'm also with the International Hall of Fame. You can go to www.internationalhall.org. We're going to be, on that website. I'm going to be having news, events, articles of hip hop, events from Australia, South Africa, artists, music from all over the world. So that, because they need to be, recognized and honored as well.
Right.
So that's where you can find me.
What days and times does your show come on?
My show comes on Tuesday night, going into Wednesday morning at midnight. And then we re-air Saturday morning at 5 a.m, Sunday morning at 8 a.m, and Sunday night at 11 p.m, all Eastern time hours. We got what you don't. We got those tapes.
Playing of the tapes, man. Salute. I know I see some other questions. Any other questions? Just drop them in the comments. I'll pull your question up. We could kind of just find out some more. Again, I'm flabbergasted. I'm sitting here like that. We got Geechie Dan. Like this is for me as a hip hop connoisseur. It's real dope when you run into some of your, like you said, some of your childhood idols, people that you sometimes you don't know people, but y'all was in the same vicinity. Like we as Low Lives, we partied heavy. We was in the mix.
Right.
But the have and the have nots, they was in these functions along with us where we was just
Yep.
That crew, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
to be able to build with y'all years later and understand and get an understanding that, hey, you know, it's a lot of money to be made legally,
Hmm.
doing things the correct way now. So it's real dope to run into. Like I said, I'm glad to see some of the brothers make it, because you know they went from the have-nots to now the upper echelons of rap excellence. They took hip hop to a whole nother level, and I could say, growing up, it was good to witness that and still
Right.
be
No doubt. Let me name
relevant.
let me name 5 more tapes real quick that I do have that a lot of people may not have. I got a LL Cool J and a Mikey D together, rhyming back to back together at a block party on 233rd Street in Rosedale, Queens, 1984. That tape that's the only tape that exists with Mikey D and LL together, rhyming together. I got that tape last year. I have a tape, Ed Lover from UNTV Rap. I got a tape early Ed Lover, I believe it's 1987. He's at a park jam called 231 Park in Queens, and he ripped it. He's rhyming. He's with the Bono twins from Queens, from Cambria Heights. That's another tape that no one, maybe 1 or 2 people might have. I got a tape of Play, the Playboy crew in Hempstead, Long Island, 1982, where Herbie Lovebug and Play together was in that group called the Playboy crew. And they in Long Island, they in Hempstead, Long Island, 1982, before Kid and Play, before Herbie Lovebug blew up, you know what I'm saying, before Salt and Pepper. So I got that tape. That's one. That was a rare tape. Not many people have that tape. I have another tape of LL in a battle with this guy named MC Paradise at a block party in 1984 in Cambria Heights. The Bono twins were there, and it's LL and they going back, and MC Paradise. They going back and forth. It's a battle. LL won. And some, not many people have that tape. I got Black Just. I got a tape of Black Just from Supreme Team birthday party.
R.I.P. Black Just.
R.I.P. to Black Just. Yeah, no doubt. I got him at the Encore in Queens, Southside Jamaica, Queens. 1990, might be 1991. LL came through, did his freestyle. DJ DeWitt, the amazing DeWitt is on the 1s and 2s. Spank G's there from Jamaica, so Southside Jamaica, Queens. He on there from Baisley. I got a tape that maybe 1 or 2 people might have. The RZA. He was called Rakim, I believe. Rakim. He's in a battle with my homeboy from Lawrenton at Baisley Park in 1989. His name was Ice Water. So it's RZA against Ice Water. It was a battle in Baisley Park, and Ice Water, he won. He rocked RZA. RZA wasn't like that at that time. But he did go for his. I got another tape at Baisley Park with Kwame, Mikey D, the amazing DeWitt, Cutmaster JT, Ice Water is on there. Shane is on there. And Mikey D and Kwame are going back and forth. So I got that tape. It's dope. That's a dope tape.
So the people want to know how many CDs/tapes do you have? That's a question that just keep
About
coming up.
about
Like to be
1,200.
okay. So
So
I got a question for you. So
Mhm,
to become the record holder, do
mhm.
you know what tape or cassette put you over the top that made them grant you the title of the record? You know, anybody break a record, you know, some you me, I would know like what tape or which one it was that pushed me over the top that took, you know, that I was able to declare myself king of the tapes.
Um, some of the ones that I just mentioned,
Okay.
and a Zulu Nation tape. I got a Zulu Nation tape that not many have. Um, the Long Island tape with Flavor in a battle. The one with Mikey D and LL. Eddie Chiba with New Sounds, Constellation 1979. The one with Biz Markie, first time on the mic. Yo.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to compete with
Yeah.
you know, plus a lot respectfully, a lot of people wasn't outside during those times. So it would be kind of hard to get some of those sounds if you wasn't in the place to be. If you was, you know,
Yeah.
one of the people that couldn't get off the steps, you know, shame on you. But luckily, a lot of us was blessed with the ability to, as youths, to really be in the mix, be a part of history. Like I always say, you can either read about history happening or be a part of history while it's happening.
Right.
Uh,
No doubt.
listen, tap in. Now, for all the individuals, man, we've been up here an hour. I want y'all to know, right? We definitely need to have Geechie come back. Uh, so here's the thing that I'm gonna throw out there for the crew. And he has no clue about this. Early on when we was first getting into our social media and we first, you know, was branding, when we first was getting branding prior to us getting the Ralphie Kids trademarked and all that other stuff. You know, we was fresh, we was green to it, right? Ichi gave us a proposal. He was like, "Listen, I'll look out for y'all, brand ambassador. We ain't know we from the streets, man. We don't know nothing about what brand ambassadors are, none of that other craziness. So dealing with his track record, looking at all the other entities and businesses that he is a brand ambassador of. Shout out to Terrence too. Terrence, you know, we definitely appreciate you, my brother.
Word. Terrence, what's up?
He
My
was
dude from
he threw the alley
Milwaukee. What up?
Yeah, he definitely threw the alley oop. So shout out to Terrence out there in Milwaukee, man. We definitely appreciate the brother Low. Uh, but yeah, so if you can explain to the people, because we ain't know, I had no clue what the hell no brand. That's the brand ambassador sound like takeover. We were like, man, we done went too far to have somebody just come take over. So if you
Right.
could just explain, it might be some people listening.
All right. So
What
you
is
want me to explain?
what is a brand ambassador and how could it help businesses? Because it's a lot of small businesses in here. Anybody that got a social media page, you're a small business. So here's some advice from a professional on how to market and
Right.
branding and all that other stuff.
All right. So I was once a brand ambassador for Generation Hip Hop Global, which was a hip hop organization based out of South Africa. And I was a brand ambassador for hip hop uh let's see, Generation Hip Hop Global, um, Hip Hop Global Kids, Hip Hop Fundamental was another organization. I was a brand ambassador for a short time. And what I was proposing to these organizations at the time was that I'm someone that could help your brand get noticed. If I'm all over the place at different events or different meetings or things related to hip hop, I could wear your t-shirt, I could wear your hoodie, I can shout you out on my radio show. We could collaborate on different ideas to on promoting each other's brand. And that's how the conversation usually start, and they will look at me and we never been approached like that. We like, just like you said earlier, like what the hell is that? What's that mean? You want to take over? And no, I don't want to take over. I just want to be able to say, hey, look, I'm part of this organization. So when I go to the Library of Congress, when I was the executive director for the Hip Hop Museum, and when I was a co-chairman at the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, I got other entities and brands that I represent, with me, that's rocking with me for the cause of hip hop, for the love of hip hop, for the passion that we all do, that we love this. And a lot of individuals, a lot of organizations, looked at, checked me out, and they's like, okay, we see what we see what you're doing, we see what you in the direction that you want to go and take us with you along, and it was never like take over. It was always you separate, I'm separate, but we collaborating. And it wasn't no money. It wasn't about no money. It was just, trying to do something global, have an impact, being iconic, I know how I am, and I know how I move, and I know that I have the best interests of hip hop. And so once I tell, these organizations, different organizations, where I want to see hip hop go and the direction I want to see hip hop go, because at the end of the day, we all know hip hop started in the Bronx, but my thing has always been, where can hip hop go? We talk about 52 years in hip hop. Let's talk about the future of hip hop. Does hip hop have a 30-year plan? Does it have a 20-year plan? Does it have a 10-year plan? Have hip hop been has the hip hop been in the United Nations yet? Have hip hop been to Mount Everest? Have hip hop been to the North Pole, South Pole? Have hip hop been on the moon? Have hip hop been explored and heard on different planets and galaxies? Is hip hop in politics? There's different avenues and lanes we can go, instead of going back and forth about where hip hop started and who was the first in hip hop to do this and do that, and arguing about, something that was created in the Bronx. So I come up with these ideas and suggestions, and some say, all right, bet, no problem. And then some of them, they put me down, and then somebody on the team gets jealous or starts, getting envy about, the tension that I'm getting, and then it starts, turning negative. And instead of me going back and forth with them, I'm either dropped from the situation, or I gotta walk away. And because everybody can't see my vision, everybody can't see what I'm seeing. And so a lot of people, they get down with you at first, and then they start, feeling like, they feel like I'm shining too much. And when
Yeah.
someone feels like you shining too much, that telling me they jealous, so they envy you.
Yeah, and I'll say firsthand, like for us, and when I speak for uh us per se, we are especially dealing with this whole low life thing, man. It was so many people throwing us deals and throwing numbers at us, and some say they had our best interests at heart, you know,
Right,
and then a lot of times inside low lives, it's so many of us, man. The numbers just wasn't big enough to fit all of us in. So of course you always gonna have that topsy turvy, and it was like
right,
everybody was coming from different angles,
right,
right? The main thing we mainly wanted to do was to get there ourselves where nobody could have a thumb over us to say, you know what, if it wasn't for me,
right,
y'all wouldn't be.
right.
So
And that
to
goes on. That goes on a lot.
yeah, so
Egos, and arrogance, man.
yeah,
It ruins situations, good situations.
we definitely full of that, full of a lot of egos and a lot of arrogance and all that and above. You talk about the
Word.
flyest crew on the planet, we stamp that. But now we're older. Now we're a lot older, more mature, and now we see through networking and through other things, working with other people. It's easier when you do it collectively as a
Right,
team and you push each other and network together, so on and so forth. So in front of everybody, in front of these 285 people that's in the building, you know, yourself and everything, we gonna work. We are definitely we on one. Right now, we crazy in the algorithm. We trademark, we got our stuff, our T's crossed and our I's are, so nobody can really backdoor us now. Where before we was kind of wide open. I
right,
mean, it was nobody owned the name, nobody owned the rights, the sayings, and so on and so forth. Now we own us, so now we feel like we got a leg to stand on. You with me? Now we feel like we bring something to the table other than just being a little boosting crew from New York. If that
right,
makes sense. Now
right, right,
we dealing politics wise. We dealing in another realm. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna rap. We're gonna definitely keep building with you. You know, I always check on you regardless. Uh, what I do want to do is I want to tap in to a lot of people that's in the chat because it's a lot of them that are smaller content creators. They're starting to blow up now, so on and so forth. But they were there to help me on the grind when I was when I didn't even want to be no content creator. I just came up here
right.
on some
No
more other
doubt.
stuff. So
Right.
shout out to Joe. She got a dope, super dope channel. Shout out to Elizabeth. Her channel is awesome. Like I ain't know nothing about the spiritual realm and none of they definitely enlightened me. Shout out to Trooper 69, one of the hardest working mods ever. Shout out to Florida She. Uh you already know Terrence.
Yeah, Terrence, my dude.
Shout out to Lovely 617, one of the best supporters ever. Uh Crates, that's my guy, one of the best artists. The boy is bad, but behind drawings, but you can just check him out, so on and so forth. And I'm gonna drop Geechie Dan link at the end of this video. So it'll be in the description of the video. You can tune back in on either channel, Super Trife or uh this Are You Locked In channel, and you'll be able to get a hold of Geechee Dan or follow him on Instagram, so on and so forth. Uh Shout out to Brooklyn in the house, the holistic hip style, super dope channel. The ladies of our top, man, they day ones, they there, phenomenal team. We super supportive and are just dope content creators. I mean, I can't
Yo,
say nothing more. Shout out to Auntie Mama's Kitchen, another phenomenal dope content creator. She been there from day one with me. She is that's like having a real life auntie, one of the ones that's gonna give it to you as it is. Shout out to Fish and Ray. super dope channel over there, man. You know, I'm a fishing person myself, so I love fishing content, so on and so forth. Who else we got to do? Shout out to Bambi. Bambi, by far, you know, I kind of put on a different pedestal because she took my book. You know, my book I dedicated to my mother. My mother lost her life, so on and so forth, and she animated my book. So she's
That's dope.
phenomenal.
Nice.
For get with her because I know you got a book too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So get with her. She phenomenal. Her whole team, the whole pizza verse over there, they did it for me. I'm quite sure that you know you work it out. Uh,
No doubt.
let me
Thank you.
see. Let me see who else. Who else is in here? Me too. Me too. I'm gonna give a special shout out to right now. Me too. The Hustle Mans. The all. They run a super dope platform, right? They're individual content creators, but Hustle Man, he's responsible for this piece. Uh
Dope.
Me Too is responsible for the animation. This and if you see like our avatars moving and so on and so forth, I'm gonna show one of their commercials real quick. Uh Here we go.
Creators
And those are the type of things that they just do. They're phenomenal over there.
Yeah, that's
They're
dope.
part of the team. You know, they definitely locked in. But what they're doing with the jewelry game over there is something kind of. I'm even like I'm gonna get a piece, with my mom. And like it's. But
I
the
like the piece
second,
you wearing. Yo, I like the piece you wearing right now.
listen, we're gonna have to get one out to you.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we got some concerts. You got the Hall of Tape. I done seen the watch. We might make. We're gonna get with them and get you something custom to fit your. It is gonna be dope.
Thank you, bro. Yo, let me say this real quick. My man Chip. Let me say this real quick, B. I really appreciate you reaching out to me, you and the rest of the low lives. And Thurston, I remember meeting him, talking to him for the first time, and telling me more about you, the organization, and your mission statement, and how you're beginning, how y'all started out, and where you're at right now. And I always felt like, damn, man, I would love to get down with this movement here. And wherever I go, I'm wearing the movement. I got the movement around me. I got the movement with y'all. Whatever y'all doing, I'm doing. I'm supporting y'all. And wherever I can get a chance to speak at an event or host an event or travel and on behalf of hip hop, that I always say, hey, these are the organizations and individuals I'm representing. Low Lives, Zulu Nation. Um I'm a brand ambassador for Peace Lights right now. It's a non-governmental organization, global organization that represents peace, harmony. And they made me a brand ambassador last week. And so I'm looking forward to working with that organization, and I'm working with the Planetary Society, with this, with space, and with hip hop and space. And there's a lot of organizations that I'm looking into, that have you know um to talk with, to collaborate with hip hop and talk about their cause. And just I so we all got the same goal in mind. We all want to promote our brand. We were all positive. We wanted to be a better situation, not only in this country, but in other countries all over the world. I'm always thinking global. I'm always thinking about an impact. I'm always thinking about iconic. And if it ain't iconic, and if it ain't global, and if it ain't having an impact, then I really don't, it's not really nothing for me to really, move forward with it. But I felt like your movement is powerful, it's positive, and a lot of good brothers and sisters in your organization, man. And I felt like this is the organization I need to have with me when I'm traveling, when I'm representing hip hop all over the world.
Man,
And I'm looking forward to having that, making that a reality. You know what I'm saying?
well, we're gonna like I said, we here. we got you. I mean, like I said, you are one of the individuals that stood 10 toes down when other people was kind of slamming the doors in our face and kind of throwing obstacles our way versus
Right,
you know, stop judging us off of what we did in the past. Judge us off of what we're doing currently now.
right, no doubt.
Don't 13, it's a big difference between a 13-year-old and a 50-year-old.
Right,
Huge difference, right?
big
Mindset, everything.
difference.
It's a big difference. So, they was judging us off of 11, 12, 13-year-old behavior when
Right,
we 40, 45, 50, well in our 50s. So,
yeah.
again, man, this has been powerful. We've been up here almost hour and a half. Man, we appreciate your time. I know
Thank you,
you're
brother.
busy
Thank
man.
you.
We're gonna have you definitely come back through the platform. You're
You already
welcome.
know. Yo, just let me
Any
know.
given time, man. Any given date.
Thank you, bro. Just let me
Uh,
know, man. Just reach out to me, and I got you.
and
It's
this
no
is for
problem.
anybody in the chat, anybody that is part of the Are You Locked In team, ran around with us, so on and so forth. It's availability, man. If y'all need somebody come to your platform that you would like to interview with, so on and so forth, reach out. We could make it happen, per se. And like he said, he's willing to brand ambassador and collaborate and network, no matter how small your channel is.
That's right.
Get let's get it. As a team, we can get there faster collectively if we pull each other up versus pushing each other down. So,
No doubt.
uh,
And please support the International Hall of Fame, the world's first global Hall of Fame, where we honor
International Hall of
individuals in
Fame.
all genres of music. And the Hall of Tapes.
Okay,
You
so
know,
the
that's
Hall of Tapes is here.
Yep.
HTTPS // tapehall.org. I don't see the Hall of Fame.
It's
We'll put it at the
internationalhall.org.
international. Okay,
Hall.org.
hold out. I'm quite sure one of them super great moderators they're dropping this. we're if not, we're definitely gonna get it in the channel description to make sure that
Yeah.
people are able to find you and follow
I
you and
keep you
stuff.
updated on I'm going to Vancouver, Canada in December to host a hip hop event for a week. I'll be up in Vancouver. I'm going to Montreal, Canada in November to host for a weekend, to host some parties and do some interviews up there in Montreal. I'm going back to Toronto probably in January for a weekend to do a host a party at Chubby's Jamaican restaurant in downtown Toronto. Big shout out to Shannon and the DJ Icon in Toronto. He's the restaurant's DJ. So
Okay.
big shout out to DJ Icon. And DJ Epps in Miami, my brother down in MIA, just came back from Miami. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to Shevik that's working on my documentary and on my tape collection. And just thank you for everybody that supports me, supporting, and I appreciate everybody that really rocks with what I do and what I becoming and when I in the direction that I'm going, man. It's just a blessing. It really is. I'm really humbled as well, man. I don't take it for granted. Thank you.
Look, my team, they showing up. Listen, the team is showing. Cruz, man, we appreciate you wholeheartedly. Uh, dope content creator. That's the family. That's the shout out to Joe. All the way across the pond. Shout out to everybody in England, man. We
England, what's
salute
up?
y'all.
UK,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
up?
We salute y'all. For those that don't know, my mother was born and raised in England. So anytime I see anybody from the UK, it brings back my mother. So I appreciate you wholeheartedly, man. Go check her channel. She got a dope channel too, man. And again, being that they on a different time zone, for them to tap in with us on it, salute, man. It's all about networking. It's all about helping each other. So, Joe, we definitely need to get with you because we need to get you in the magazine and all that other stuff. On that note, man, like I said, we've been up here out on some change. We're gonna have Geechie Dan come back. Uh, I'm gonna send you your your gifts from the team.
Thank you.
Especially that video game. I hope you get with the right people and get them to kind of push that game
Okay.
wholeheartedly. Because
That's very nice of you, bro. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
we're a team, man. Listen, you
Thank
did
you, man.
believe
Salute.
me.
Thank you.
The shout outs and stuff like that. When you sit down and you listening to XM radio and you hear, your organization shouted out, or you hear anything, man, it is always an honor. We truly appreciate, because again, they was quick to spread it on the negative side when we was out there doing craziness. They spread our name bad.
Word. That's how they
Now that we
do.
out here doing positive, spread
Positive.
our
They don't want
name.
to. They don't want to talk about that.
Nah, man, listen. This yeah, we everybody saying nice watch. Yeah, we need some of those in the rotation, you know. In the rotation, we need some of those tape watches.
Thank you.
Yeah, everybody saying I love the watch. I'm sending happy Bobby away from Manchester, England. That's exactly what my family's in Manchester. We're gonna talk. All the whole
Yeah,
the
we're gonna
whole
talk.
family out there.
Cause ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be doing events all over the world, and I want the low lives right with me, and the brand. I want this to be a global situation, because we don't hip hop. We so short minded on some things. Hip hop is global. It's 205 lands. There's 200 some countries, islands, and cities, and 7 continents. And hip hop, we so stuck on where we came from. We need to talk about where we can go. You know what I'm saying? And I'm that dude. I'm going to make sure that, like I said, I got hip hop's best interest. I'm going to make sure, we're going to be in New Zealand. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing this in Australia. We're going to be in Japan. I want to be in Germany, Italy, France, Paris. I want to be South Africa, Ghana. I want Nigeria. I want to give out awards, recognition to everyone that is involved with hip hop all over the world. So when I start hosting these parties in different countries and different islands, in different nations.
Matter of fact, remind me to get you with shout out to my good brother Prince. Like I said, we just had him on the last episode of Super Trife, and he's over there. They over there in Japan doing their thing, teaching the youth hip hop dances.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
he's part of the Ziggy crew. He was one of our special ed dancers. So
Right. See, I can
you know,
I can have him. I can have him on my International Hall of Fame. I
yeah.
can,
So
what I'm saying, I can
I'm gonna
honor
get you
him.
with Prince.
Yeah. Yeah.
Connect y'all to him and so on and so forth. Because that's a really real. He the team. He part of the team. Honorary Low Life, um, putting on in major ways on a positive level, not only for
Right.
hip hop
And
but
so
for
let me say something. One more thing. When I have the International Hall of Fame induction award ceremony next year, I'm honoring AKA, who passed away 2 years ago. He was the Tupac of South Africa. MC Solar, he's from France. He's one of the biggest French MCs. MC Solar, respect. Burma, he's Nigerian. Um, the Cookie Crew, the UK. Hoodlums Hustling, I believe. It's a crew out of Australia, one of the pioneers of Australia hip hop. There's a crew. I want to give them induction. I want to honor them. Sampa the Great sister, she's in Australia. She's dope. There's a DJ in New Zealand I want to honor. There's a neo soul Japanese group in Japan I want to honor. There's a sister in Bolivia. She's a human beatbox. I want to honor her.
Oh, let me see. I ain't see him. Let me see. Himani Raj, India. Oh wow. Okay. Hey,
Yeah,
listen. Shout out to Himani Raj. You got India in the chat.
that's right.
Per se, this is what it's about, man. It's
That's what it's
about
about. Yep.
connecting. Y'all tap in with them. Let them know that we sent you and all this, man. Joe appreciate the alley oop. Uh, and again, to have an international chat, people from all over, all walks of life
That's what
coming
it's
together,
about.
man. This is by far.
That's why I created the International Hall of Fame for situations like this, so I can have everyone involved and individuals being honored from their country, from their city, from their town, from their continent. That's what it's all about, man.
No doubt. Big elevated. If it wasn't for elevated, I would have never been in this community. I was on the other side of YouTube. I was on that other type of timing, and elevated uh showed me a different light. So shout out to elevated, man. Appreciate you, fam. Uh, but yeah, let me get to the get to. I got some running around to do,
All
man.
right.
Again, I'm gonna tap in with you to find out, another best day that we can have you. Come and just chill. We probably, play some music, but at the same time, we might have to go back and edit that video and all that other stuff for copyright reasons. But for the
Right.
most part, we could give the people a world class education, per se, and have some fun doing it. So
No doubt.
we'll line something up.
Peace to the
Uh,
low lives. Appreciate you. Love you. Mad respect. Mad love for y'all, man.
man, we here, man. We definitely appreciate we appreciate everybody, man. Everybody who looked
Everybody
past
that's
our
on,
yeah.
everybody that's on here listening, checking me out, checking my brother out. Thank you. I appreciate the love from all over all walks of life, from all over the world. Right. It's your
And no
boy
diddy
Geechie Dan. Thank you again, y'all. For real.
yeah, tickle that like button, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Your favorite YouTubers back at it again, man. We here. We are here. We got another matter of fact, it's today a double header. I got another super dope here, MC. That's one of the home team, Super Trife Lo Life coming on 8 o'clock tonight. That's gonna be a real dope interview. One of the pioneers of this movement, young, uh, hungry, and he dropping his music, so on and so forth. Mr. Rolex Dre, aka Puplo, will be on the platform later on tonight, and we're gonna have some fun, man. We're gonna have some fun.
Word. Big shout out
So
to my co-host Diamond, the artist, and a big shout out and thank you. Salute LL Cool J,
no doubt,
the GOAT.
brother L.
Thank you.
Whenever he feel, and it's plenty of times we done ran into L on other type of timing, man. And had a
Thank
ball.
you. Yo, L, thank you, B. Appreciate
Yeah,
the appreciate
definitely.
thank you.
L, man, the whole Queens team, man. And I could name, those that know. You just go to my IG page, you'll see me with some of the greats. Some, per se. Uh on that note, it's all about longevity, man. I just hope anybody that's ill or facing any illnesses, heal quickly, and let's get to it, man. Let's get to
No doubt.
our legacy. Is prime time to make sure that we secure that our legacy needs to be cemented in these Hall of Fames and so on and so forth. So let's get that in motion. JC, salute, fam. I see you, man. We definitely appreciate you, man. Listen, they showing out, man. They that's the one thing about you be trying to get off, and then you see, you know, we had some graffiti on this Skate Park, Nottingham, that's repping LL Cool J 1990s. But that's what's up. Again, shout out to LL Cool J. He linked a lot of individuals, not only from Queens but from Brooklyn as well. Because just in New York, I'll say this, that those that had or was putting on that they hung out in the same spot. So whatever club was popping at that time, whatever the money getters and the money makers and so on and so forth hung out in those establishments. It didn't matter if you was from Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx. If you was a somebody, you was there. And if you was a somebody, you was respected based on your last name, based on who you were. So to be able to rub elbows with some of the iconic and legendary individuals from early, prior to them being mega stars, I don't take that for granted, man.
No doubt.
And they never tried to like sun us in no type. You know what I mean? They respect is always a two-way street, man. You know, you respect those that respect you.
Right.
And,
Definitely.
you always showed the utmost respect, man. Couple of them rappers though. Couple of them rappers, but it is what it is. But yeah, on that note, man, y'all be the best you that you could possibly be. We're gonna close. That's 100. That's another thing. I hate to walk away, and it's
how many people's on here, B?
There's
Like
198 people in the chat right now. Like, I feel like I'm robbing my people. But that's like walking up the stage or on a packed house and you performing.
Right.
You want to just give them one. Let's get them one more. They screaming encore, so on and so forth. So, as a content creator, though, I'm gonna let y'all know. Put yourselves in that position where even if you got one in your chat, add a 0 behind it so that it's 10. If it's 10 in your chat, add a 0 behind it so that you're looking at 100 people and perform. Put on, give them your energy. They're gonna feel off your energy and they'll be back. I promise you. And they're gonna bring other people with them. Man, this is our season, man. Right now, everybody in the chat, you planting seeds. You're planting the seeds for your channel, for your life, for your legacy. Them seeds ain't gonna grow overnight. You gotta water them, get the right sunlight. Get other people to cultivate
plant those seeds.
land.
Word up. Word up. I tell everybody, turn your passion into your purpose, and ultimately it will lead you to your destiny. All right. Turn that passion that's something that you love so much that it's not even considered work. It's something that you just love to do. Turn that love, turn that passion into your purpose on life, and ultimately it'll lead you to your destiny. All right.
Yeah. If y'all can tune in tonight, 8 p.m. The one and only. The only thing I'm not doing it on this Are You Locked In channel. So hopefully, if you're following my Super Trife Lo Lifes channel, one of our other monetized channels per se, come on over there and let's have a ball. On that note, Geechie Dan, salute. We catch you on the next one, my brother.
All right, peace.
All right, salute, y'all.